In this session, we're going to see some work with a patient who came to therapy about 3 months ago with the following problems. He's 35 years old, successful in his career, but not at all happy in his personal life. He wants to find a partner with whom he can share his life, but relationships never work out for him. He's gay, so he's looking for a man to share his life with, but his dating history has been a disaster. And he had sought therapy. It's relevant to know he had sought therapy previously from a cognitive behavioral therapist. That therapy lasted for 1 year, at which point the therapist said, I'm not sure I can help you anymore beyond this point, and it might serve you better to go over to what we call a psychodynamic therapy. I can refer you to my colleague. So the patient began therapy full of expectations that he'd have a new experience and that he would make quick progress. In other words, based on the recommendation and referral from the prior therapist, there was initial idealization of the new therapist, but as we will see in the role play, that idealization did not hold up for very long. So you were telling me that this guy, George, kind of blew you off. And, it's just another example of how it just doesn't work. You can't find somebody to share your life with. But on the other hand, I don't know if you noticed, but as you were talking about him and the last date you went on with him, you were kind of mocking him almost for the way he ate and some of his manners and stuff like that. So I'm not sure if it's as simple a story as you say that he just blew you off, because there might be stuff in you you're not, you're having a reaction right now.
How was I mocking him?
Well, I can get to that later, but I think it might be better right now to look at what's going on between you and me.
What is going on between us? There's nothing going on.
Oh, well, I mean, nothing very obvious, but let's just,
Yeah.
This is perhaps, I might seem like I'm splitting hairs because I'm going to try to bring your attention to a detail of our interaction that I've noticed for a while now, that has just happened when I was trying to offer an idea which may have been incorrect or not been valid. Over the months, I think we've been meeting about 3 months now, and over that time, it's kind of frequent that when I suggest something, you have a reaction of sort of rolling your eyes or looking like what I'm saying is kind of stupid or not worth thinking about. So,
to use your own words, I think you're projecting.
you think
I never called you stupid.
No, you didn't. And I don't think that would fit into your way of thinking. I mean, I know you're very, very committed to behaving well. You're welcome. But certain things emerge in the nonverbal behavior, and that kind of eye rolling, it looks a little bit dismissive of what I'm saying. And I'm not sure, as you're doing it, you're aware of it, and it yet might have an impact on the interaction. So,
I mean, I may have turned my head, but I wasn't rolling my eyes. I don't think I was.
I mean, I might have misperceived, but
I think so.
I just want to propose that if I'm at all correct in my observation, that there's something, like I said, a little dismissive and rejecting, almost condescending about
Me? Condescending? Sorry, you're the most condescending person I've ever met. I didn't want to say anything because this is my therapy, not yours. I didn't want to waste time on you, but since you brought it up, you're the most condescending person I've ever met. Has to be said. And speaking of which, I know that therapists get therapy. Have you thought about getting therapy yourself, or?
Well, I didn't know you.
See, the way you're speaking, you're trying to just say what you want to say.
Oh,
Yeah. What is it you want to say? I didn't roll my eyes. I'm just maybe I'm a little bit impatient, but you would be if you were in my position.
until just now, I didn't know about my being so condescending here.
Yeah, so it's time for you to reflect.
I'd like to hear more about that. So why don't we kind of shift away from what we were talking about? Fill me in. I mean, let me know.
I mean, I didn't come to therapy to get this level of disapproval, to be honest with you. So I thought therapy is about helping me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So
So for 3 months
yeah, all I've been getting is this. Now you came out and say it, which I appreciate, but
in an unspoken way, or with it being unspoken, you've been experiencing disapproval here.
yeah,
That
maybe that's a pattern. Maybe that's how therapy is. I don't know.
but I officially am supposed to be helping, but
Yeah.
actually I'm judging, and you said condescending. Yeah. I'm open to hearing more about that. I just
Thank you. We should address it.
Okay.
Before therapy can begin, this is what we should focus on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've opened up something very important, and
Thank you.
I didn't know it was there.
Maybe this is what needed to happen, me opening up to you about how I feel. So good. I think we need to address it. Yeah.
I'm with you here.
Thank you.
In this role play, we saw an example of a patient with covert narcissism, feeling very proper and correct all the time, but with a subtle, aggressive devaluing of others, or perhaps sometimes not so subtle, but an unstated, nonverbal devaluing of others that comes out in attitudes, in nonverbal behaviors and expressions. So the first thing in this role play was the therapist's observation of nonverbal communication. We have to remember there are 3 channels of communication: the verbal content, the nonverbal expression, and the therapist's countertransference as a channel of communication. Here, the therapist focused on the nonverbal expressions, which were the eye rolling and the kind of disapproving look of the face, which the therapist understood as an expression of that devaluing part of the patient that the patient didn't like to think about, because the patient doesn't like to think about any negative qualities in him. So when the therapist tried to engage the patient's observation into the reflection of those nonverbal communications, rather than accepting that invitation to see something negative in him, the patient responded with a reversal of the roles, where the patient said, "I'm not the condescending one, you're the condescending one." So there are 2 points to illustrate and to try to clarify here. The first is role reversal. If we look back at basic object relations theory, we have a dyad. In this case, the dyad is the sense of self as perfect and the other as being negative. Now, what the therapist tried to do was to suggest there's a certain role reversal where the patient had a negative quality that the patient did not like to see in himself. That is the single most difficult step of therapy, to help a patient see something negative in themselves that they do not want to see. So often, the direct interpretation of the role reversal does not work. In this case, when the therapist said, I see something a little negative, a little devaluing, and a little condescending in your nonverbal communication, the patient didn't say, "Oh, let me think about that." The patient reinforced his projection and said, "Are you kidding? That's your stuff, not my stuff." So what the therapist went on to do here was what we call working within the projection or therapist-centered work. Instead of saying, wait a minute, I wasn't the one who rolled my eyes and looked so condescending, you were, that would be getting into a fruitless argument with the patient. The therapist was willing to accept the projection of that part of the patient's internal world, the negative devaluing part. The therapist accepted that projection onto him and said, okay, let's explore that internal object. Let's explore that part of the patient's internal world as it's being seen in me right now. And with time, hopefully we can eventually help the patient see that what he sees in me might also be part of his internal world.